so I've had this Steam Deck for roughly about 60 days. Was it worth getting, or did I waste money? You're gonna want to stay tuned and find out.
Calling all retro gamers.
Welcome to Calling All Retro Gamers. I'm RetroKill-9, and today I'm here to talk about the Steam Deck. You know, I got this thing last year around Thanksgiving time in November. It's been around 60 days, and so I thought it was important for me to give my opinion and talk about this guy here and see if I'm still in love with the device or if this thing is just, full of problems. And if you are interested in getting a Steam Deck, you're going to want to go ahead and like and subscribe, follow this channel, take this journey with me, as I am going to make future videos to talk more about this and other optimizations that I've gone ahead and done with the deck. Yes, so in my journey, I have tinkered with games, I've adjusted the power settings to give more battery life, and it's just great with the Steam Deck that you can tinker. And to be honest, I wasn't even sure that I was going to like tinkering, with the Steam Deck, because I work with computers all day and IT technology, and sometimes the last thing I want to do is mess with a PC. And so to be honest, that's one of the things I do like about the Steam Deck, is I can go ahead, I can step away from my desk, I can play games portably on the couch, I can hang out there with the wife, and this device has just changed the way that I do gaming. It's changed my lifestyle, and I still love that aspect of it. I can be in the middle of playing a game, hit the button on the top of it, it'll automatically go into suspend, and even with some plugins that I've been messing with, it'll also pause the game. And that's another thing I do want to talk about, is the openness with the deck. The community support is fantastic. I've been tinkering around with the plugins, with power tools, really trying to get as much battery life out of these games. I'm going to start to make future videos of my battery optimizations with games, doing things, just adjusting the watts, getting it to the sweet point where you still get that 40 to 60 frames per second, and the game runs flawlessly, and you get good battery life. And I want to say now, on average, I'm getting around 4 to 5 hours of battery life, versus before it was more 3 to 4. And for me, I mainly just play indie games and retro games. I don't play those AAA titles, but I've gotten things like Dead Cells and Hades. I love roguelikes, and I've really gotten those to get to that sweet spot for battery life. And that's the other thing that the deck provides. Before, in the PS4 store, yeah, I definitely had some fun, but it really didn't have just those great indie games, those AA titles, if you will. Versus the Steam Deck library is fully open. Yeah, it's also saturated with junk, but I find these gems. And the other thing that I like about it now, when I see these cool arcade type games, coming out to the iArcade, there's always a Steam port. There are some very few Switch exclusives, but yeah, Steam gets everything. Because before, something like Donut Dodo, for example, that just wouldn't, I don't think it's even still on the PS4 store, but it went to Steam. So I'm still loving the choice of games, I'm still loving the flexibility, the thing still feels great in the hands. You can sit there for hours on gaming, my hands don't feel cramped at all. The Steam Deck is just really good build quality, and it lives up to that. And so, yeah, another thing I mentioned is I do have a few of those stands. That's an iVoller dock, but JSOX also sells just the stand, by itself. You can see here in the picture, I picked these up, I want to say, during the holiday sales. They were only maybe like $5-6 each. And I do keep one of those in the living room and, other parts of the house, so I can just go ahead and I can just, pop it in there. Because there's the one thing about the Steam Deck, if I did have to find a con currently, because of its size, you can't just set it down. So you are going to want some type of stand, unless you want to keep putting it back in its case, which, in my opinion, would get a little bit annoying. There are other solutions where you can get a kickstand built on it, but I just really didn't want any attachments. I didn't want any other bulkiness or anything to be on it. That may change later on. I haven't messed with any skins. I'm perfectly happy, with the deck the way that it is. I've messed with a few of the Deculator plugins to change the appearance on some things, but very subtle. I don't want anything drastic, but I do plan on making more videos of how I've gotten to customize the look and the feel of the deck. But yeah, after 60 days, I'm still loving it. It's still worth your money. I think for $400, you get a lot. The 64 gigs is still great. I've had to do maybe a little bit of tweaking to move some things to my micro SD card and all that, but I'm going to start making some videos to talk about that. If you get the 64 gig model, you too can optimize it, so don't let that throw you off. Micro SD cards for the 256 gig and for the 50 gig are still fairly inexpensive, and I meant to say 512 gig, and I want to say that I think I've only really used 100 gigs of that up for the type of games that I like to play. So even if I threw a 256 gig card in here, it would have been fine. Yeah, so the verdict is, the deck is still awesome, it feels awesome, it plays great. I've really been having a lot of fun tweaking games of my liking and playing games, and it's really filled that gap for me. And in both the lifestyle, just being able to chill, hang out with the family, not be tied to a couch, and being able to play the games that I love. Well, I want to know in the comments section below if we could get a conversation started. Are you interested in getting a Steam Deck? Or do you already have a Steam Deck? What have you been doing? What type of games do you play? Now, I'd really like to know. And if you haven't, please go ahead, like, subscribe, comment. It really, really helps the channel out. I want you to take the Steam Deck journey. I want you to be involved. I want you to see all the cool things that I do. Not only that, me and my buddy, Retro Rich, who also puts out great content on this channel, has started a video game series where he puts in one coin, picks a game at random, and kind of see what happens, how far he can get, and if he would, spend more money on that game. Not only that, we do a podcast once every 2 weeks, where we talk about the latest current trends right now that are going on in the modern retro video game scene. We also have special guests like Tim from Tim's Tiny Arcade. He was fantastic. I think you're gonna love it. So yeah, I hope to see you taking this journey with me. Go ahead and check out some of those other videos that I've talked about now around me. And we're a new and upcoming channel, and I thank everyone for their support, and bye-bye.